All right, let's talk about that invisible force that pretty much runs your life, your focus, your motivation, your drive. I'm talking about dopamine. Today, we're going to figure out how you can reclaim your attention in a world that is literally engineered to steal it. Okay, let's get right into it. So, does this sound familiar? You sit down, you know exactly what you need to do, and then poof, an hour's gone, just lost in a sea of social media feeds and short videos. Well, here's the thing. It's not because you lack willpower. It's because your brain's natural reward system has been hijacked. But don't worry, today we're going to take it back. Now, to fix the system, you've got to understand how it works first. We're about to dive into the powerful neurochemistry that's driving you, that makes you chase things, and that explains those intense highs and, yeah, the crushing lows of motivation in our modern world. Okay, this right here is a massive misconception we need to clear up. Thanks to neuroscientists like Dr. Andrew Huberman, we now know that dopamine isn't really about feeling good. It's the thing that makes you pursue the things you think will make you feel good. It's the molecule of more. It's all about the chase. You know, the easiest way to picture this is like a wave in the ocean. Every single one of us has a baseline level of dopamine. It's your normal, everyday level of motivation and mood. And this baseline, it's absolutely crucial. It determines how you feel day to day and your ability to just get up and do things. So what messes with this baseline? Well, some activities create these huge, unnatural spikes. On one side, you have what we call cheap spikes. You get these from social media, junk food, video games. They give you that instant, intense rush. And then, on the other side, you've got the dopamine you get from actual achievement, which is a totally different, much more sustainable feeling. And here's the catch. This is the hidden cost of those cheap spikes. After one of those intense, artificial highs, your dopamine level doesn't just go back to normal. No, it crashes below your original baseline. And listen to this is the most important part. The higher that spike, the deeper and longer the crash that comes after it. So what happens when you keep chasing these quick hits day in and day out? Well, your baseline gets pushed lower and lower over time. And the result, you know it, it's chronic procrastination. It's that feeling of not finding joy in simple things anymore, like a walk or just talking to a friend. You end up needing more and more of that stimulation just to feel okay, let alone motivated. So what's actually going on inside your brain to cause this crash? How does your brain even regulate all this stuff? Well, it all comes down to this really brilliant concept called the pleasure-pain seesaw. It's your brain's constant internal balancing act. Dr. Anna Lembke, in her incredible book, Dopamine Nation, explains it perfectly. The very same parts of your brain that process pleasure also process pain. They are fundamentally linked, like two sides of the same coin, and they work against each other to keep you stable. And this visual shows you exactly what happens. When you hit your brain with some intense, cheap pleasure, that seesaw tips way over to the pleasure side. So to get things back in balance and to protect itself, your brain compensates by tipping it just as hard, sometimes even harder, over to the pain side. And that right there, that's the crash. That's that empty feeling that always follows the high. So, get this. The real secret to peak performance and just feeling good isn't about chasing more and more pleasure. It's actually about stopping this violent, constant tilting of the seesaw. It's about finding stability, using some discipline, and just letting that seesaw come back to a calm, centered state. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. We totally get the science behind it. Now let's get to the good part, the solution. And this isn't just some theory. This is a clear, actionable 3-step protocol that you can literally start using today. So that's the big question, right? How do you actually fix this thing? How do you take back control from a system inside you that feels completely automatic and has been running wild for years? The answer is this 3-step protocol. It's simple. Number 1, a 24-hour dopamine fast. Number 2, using strategic discomfort, like cold exposure. And number 3, living by what we're going to call the hard first rule. Let's break down each one. Step 1 is the fast. For 24 hours, you just unplug. That means no social media, no YouTube, no Netflix, no podcasts. You're basically starving your brain of all that cheap, easy dopamine. And why? To let those overloaded receptors finally reset and allow your baseline to start climbing back to normal. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to feel boring at first. And that is the entire point. Boredom is where creativity and real motivation are born.
Okay, step 2, cold exposure. Now just look at this number. Research has shown that a cold plunge or even just a cold shower can raise your baseline dopamine by 250%. And here's why it's so amazing. It taps into this ancient survival circuit in your brain. The cold is a challenge, so your brain releases adrenaline and then a slow, steady wave of dopamine that can last for hours. But the most crucial part? It's a sustained rise with no crash. You get all the motivation and none of the penalty.
And finally, step 3, the hard first rule. This one is so simple, but it is a game changer. Before you check your phone, before you watch or read anything, you tackle your most important or difficult task for the day. You are literally retraining your brain to connect that satisfying dopamine release with effort and with achievement, not with just passively consuming things. You're teaching it to love the struggle of the climb, not just the view from the top.
You know, when you put these 3 steps together, even if you just do it once a week, something incredible starts to happen. You stop just reacting to everything around you, and you start taking back conscious control of your own biology.
I really want you to let this quote sink in. Your struggle with focus, it is not a moral failing. You're not weak, you're not lazy. You are a human being with a totally normal brain, living in a completely insane environment of overstimulation. This protocol is just giving you the tools you need to fight back.
You see, for way too long, most of us have just been passengers, right? Pulled around by notifications and algorithms and cravings. Well, it is time to step into the cockpit, grab the controls, and start pointing your focus and your energy exactly where you choose for them to go. So, I'm going to leave you with this one thought. What great thing could you build? What skill could you finally master? What could you become if your own motivation system was finally working for you instead of against you? Just imagine, what could you achieve if you were truly in control?